Dina Thurman, and this is my book talk study on the book Dare to Lead by Brene Brown. Full disclosure, I've never done a book review, study, or talk as an adult. My last book report was in middle school in the 1980s. However, I've always wanted to be in a book club. Does that count? The questions that I will be answering are what stood out to me, what I agreed with and didn't agree with, what can I guess about the author, and how I can incorporate her book on my teacher learner leader journey. The author is a natural storyteller, and she's written this book in a way that she can reach all of us. The organization is easy to follow. As mentioned in her book and also in her read-along workbook that you can print from her website is the Square Squad. This 1-inch square is to write the names of the opinions that matter. She also mentioned the daring leadership assessment. So as soon as she talked about this, I stopped, took a break from reading, and took the quiz. My results were that I need to learn to be comfortable in rumbling with vulnerability. As you can see, my score was a 3.8 out of 10. So, according to her, without vulnerability, um, you can't start this process. What do I agree with? I agree that to be a good leader, we do need to have self-awareness. We need to know our strengths and our weaknesses. And like this one quote in the book, who we are is how we lead. So we need to know who we are. What do I question? Her thoughts on shame and empathy. This was hard for me to digest because I need to work on my empathy skills and learning to understand what that embarrassment and humiliation are not the same as shame. One of the TED Talks that I found on her was on shame and empathy, and you can click on that link if you want to watch that. What can I surmise about the author's background and philosophy toward leadership? She has experience in research in this field to back up her findings. Full disclosure, when she mentioned TED Talks, I did find them online, and I watched several of her TED Talks and interviews. Um, she's pretty much what I imagined. She's a fifth generation Texan who's not afraid to open up. She is one tough cookie. What information and suggestions can I incorporate into my journey as a teacher leader? There is a huge, vast amount of resources on the website. There's a guide for groups and teams. One of my favorite is an engaged feedback checklist. This list has about 10 things that you need to check off before you are ready to give feedback, productive feedback. You're not angry. You're in a place to give and receive feedback. List of values. The read along workbook was very valuable. So this, I think, would be a wonderful book study, at my school or in our district. There's a braving inventory, the Dare to Lead glossary, even just reviewing the list of values, like it's pages of, um, well, I say pages, it's one sheet with 4 columns of values that are, wholehearted, that you can review with the staff or review with colleagues to go over what's important to you all. So thank you for listening to my book talk, and dare to lead. Do well.